Well, thank you very much for the applause. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Anyway,
You just
welcome to welcome to our take on it, featuring Slim and Shona from P Town to ATL. And tonight, and let me say this first, Shona is here. She's been under the weather the whole weekend. She braved the weather. Did you all get much snow? Because typically here it snows one day and it melts, either that later that night or the next day. But did
I
you all
got
get anything?
I think there was a lot of ice in Atlanta, which is the reason I haven't gone back yet. Well, one of the
Yeah,
reasons. Well, right now
yeah,
I'm sick anyway.
yeah. We didn't even get that, so I appreciate that. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, but you're still
I
kind of
am.
under the weather. But I appreciate
Yeah.
you showing up for the Slim and Shona show.
I
I
have
couldn't do
to.
it without you, but if I have to, I'll
Look,
struggle.
James. I am. I am. I'm balling and shot Collins. Check me out.
I
I
hear
have
you.
this
Yes,
chair. How
indeed.
about
Who
that?
would know if I
Today,
hadn't said
that's
anything? No,
unusual.
if I hadn't said anything, no one would know. But
That's
anyway,
right.
look, we have a special guest with us here tonight, and I say special, and I really mean that. A lot of times we say that about all our guests, but this guy is really special to me. He grew up in the neighborhood under me, and when I say under me, I mean he was younger, like 2 years, and he was a member of. High school fraternity we had, even though he was at a different high school. Well, his name is Jensen Baker, and we called him Light. And as all the neighborhoods, everybody had nicknames, and mine was Ant, Ant, and I was 6'5", a 6'5" ant. But my middle name was Anthony, so they just shortened it to Ant. So Light, we call him Light Baker, and I never knew where that came from. He probably explained it to me one time, but I forgot. But anyway, anybody from the neighborhood knows him as Light Baker, and anybody else in the professional realm knows him as Coach Baker or Jensen Baker. And he's educator and coach, as I mentioned. Graduated from Craddock High School, and uh, let him tell it. He graduated from the real HU, Hampton University, and came back to and went to Detroit for a little while, and came back home and taught and coached and had a very successful coaching career and launched some other coaches' careers. But we're glad to have him here. He's still involved in education. And of course, you see the subject is when the mind is overwhelmed, the body follows. And we'll let Light or Coach Baker talk about that. Welcome, Coach. How you doing, man? Glad you were able to get on and come on and talk to us about a very important passion of yours.
Definitely Slim, and it has to be Slim and not James Overton.
Yeah.
Like you said, everybody had a nickname, and so hey, man, I'm just used to calling you Slim.
Yes.
Uh,
So if I slip into light every once in a while, y'all understand. But I
Not a problem.
lately grown, I've been calling him Coach, but or Jensen. But
And Miss Shauna, it's so nice to meet you because,
It's so
like
nice
I
to meet
said, I battled with your baby brother when we were growing up in Little League baseball, and I know some other family members, so I feel right at home, Slim.
yeah, everybody does when they come here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
shall I
yeah.
address you as coach?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
Well,
very nice
Slim,
to meet you.
I
Oh, and before we go any further, after James ran down all of those accomplishments, we should have had this. That's for Coach Baker.
Okay, thanks. Yeah,
okay, thank
I
you.
can't get all the applause, so thanks for showing up for letting us know that other people not need the applause, but deserve the applause as well. And Coach Baker
Thank you.
certainly
Thank
is deserving of that. Yeah. So, Coach Baker, tell us about the mindfulness program and the subject. When the mind is overwhelmed, the body follows. I think that's a quote from you. So, just
Well,
go ahead.
Slim, just today, man, I was listening to the police chief, and he gave a little special report about the homicides in Portsmouth. This just being January, man, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of sad. I'm big on stopping the violence, and I think is we are not taking, to me, the right approach.
Mhm.
Um, I have a program called Mind Power Enterprise. We are in two schools, Churchland Academy and Douglas Park. And in 2023, 2024, with this program that's called Inner Explorer, Churchland Academy, among 4,500 schools, was number one in the nation using this mindfulness program. Now, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being in the present moment on purpose without judgment. Mindfulness is not thinking about the past, that's already happened. It's not thinking about the future because that's not here yet. Mindfulness is being present. And I keep waving my banner because this program that we have found that referrals have decreased in the schools. Test scores have gone up ever since I brought the program to Church and Academy, which was in uh, 2020. Test scores have been increasing. When I first got to Douglas Park, 15% of the referrals came from fighting. At the end of the year, it was down to 5%. So I'm saying all this to say that I have data to prove that it works. My data is comparable to hundreds of other studies that have been done. So this past year, Douglas Park, Portsmouth Public Schools, did not have the money to fund Douglas Park. So I could not let them go 2.5 years um, and just stop the mindfulness program. So I ended up raising money myself. People in the community really supported me. Grove Baptist Church, they donated 5,000. Maury Cook, he donated 3,600. Dr. Cordell Patillo donated 2,400, and Portsmouth Partnerships donated 500. So it's a program where you have to look at the data, and I don't think we're doing that. People are talking about mental health and how important it is, and we look at our kids' behaviors, and a lot of these behaviors come from trauma.
Mhm.
It's not like we were growing up, Slim, Chandra. Is we were outside kids, man. We were playing outside, and but now it's a different day, so you have to meet these kids where they are. These kids have constant social media pressures, cell phones 24/7, always comparisons to their peers. And they have to understand that times they had to calm themselves. And this is what this program does. Studies have shown that 5 to 16 minutes of deep meditative breathing and positive thoughts help to capture negative thoughts because thoughts is where stress comes from. God did not build us with with stress. It's the thoughts that we have, the worries that we have that causes stress. So with kids, if they think negative, their bodies are going to react negative. If they're thinking about bullying and fighting and getting the guns and what to do with guns, and that's their thought process, then their body is going to follow. I guarantee this program that I have, I can guarantee it. And the reason why I can guarantee it is because the brain responds to repetition. Okay? If you don't know how to ride a bicycle and you think about when you first start riding that bike, okay, you fell a few times, but then you had those neural connections that came in. Next thing you know, you start riding it and you didn't forget it. You look at the military, okay, they have repetition of things that they're going to do and they're disciplined with it. And once they um, continue to be repetitive, then it sort of sinks in. So at Douglas Park and Churchill Academy, this is what they're doing. We have, and people say that, okay, it's the parents. And I understand that. But we have these kids from 5 to 7 hours a day. How much time do we spend on their mental health? With this program, in Portsmouth Public Schools, you have 15 minutes of SEL period, social and emotional learning. This is where I bring my team in. This is where they go to enter explore. And these little meditative sessions last maybe elementary school 5 minutes. So when they come in, they're doing a meditation session. When they come from recess or lunch, they doing a meditation session to calm themselves down. And I just believe that this needs to be in the schools. Now, I mentioned to you that they cut Douglas Park, but now One Foundation, they gave me a matching fund grant per se of $25,000. So if I raise $25,000, they'll match it, and I'm probably $10,000 short right now. So now I can go into a school and I can say, hey, look, I got data to prove that this program worked. I guarantee in 8 weeks you will see some changes, and the program is free. The program is free. Enter Explorer costs $3,199 for the program, but I'm offering it for free. But I have
Wow.
to keep pushing people, um, organizations, foundations to donate, because at the beginning of September, I want to have 10 schools in the Hampton Roads area. But this is what our kids need. We're not focusing enough on their mental health. This is why we have so much violence. It's
Yeah.
because we're not focusing on their mental health. We're not trying to capture these negative thoughts that they have. And the time to do it is in school.
Yeah.
Also, and let me say this right quick.
Hmm.
Take your
You
time.
purchase the program at your school and it's free for the parents at home. So now a lot of parents come home from work. They really too tired to deal with their kids with homework. They put in Enter Explore, and it's good for the teachers also. I've heard some teachers to say, hey, well, we got to do this program with the kids. Uh, we ring a bell and they do what's called a shock film. And it gets completely quiet. Now everybody is on the same page. Because when those kids come in, Slim, hey man, you don't know what those kids left at home.
Right.
You don't know. I mean, I don't even want to talk about it, the different things. So when they get to school, you're looking at these kids, they're thinking about other things. They're not thinking about, but once we ring that bell, hold on for a second.
Okay. Yeah. Just showing why he's waiting to come back. Yeah, it seems like a good program. And one of the things I wanted to ask him, or I wanted to make a comment about, he mentioned about the police chief giving the statement, and I saw that as well. He talked about the two murders we've had already and the shootings, and then the next day it was another shooting. So, and they have a crime commission. And one of the things I always talked about, like, was are we dealing with the root of the problem, the roots of the problem, which I always considered with starting with the young people. And like just like you mentioned, we don't know. And you mentioned how we played outside and we were kind of carefree in the things that we had to deal with as kids. But these kids today, you don't know what they're facing at home. And it
No,
was some kids coming up with us that were facing some things that we didn't know about. But it seems like it's more prevalent now. Kids have more of a responsibility. They're learning more, and just dealing with the root causes, which starts at a young age. And you coach, teenage boys, and that's where we're getting to as far as the age of the kids that are committing these crimes. Seems like they're getting younger and younger. So starting in the elementary schools like you are seems like it makes sense. And fortunately, when the school system says, well, we're not going to do that program anymore, we have people out there, community minded people that think like you and me, that know we have to get to the root of the problem, which is uh, our young kids, and we have to help out the parents. We can't blame all the parents. There might be some parents that are really trifling. I'll put it that way, but not, very few. But they're out there working hard, and they don't have the time to put in. Like we might have had one parent home, or if both parents were working, we were coming up. It was a neighbor, or something like that, or aunt or something that could fill that gap.
but Slim,
So,
you
and I just
mentioned,
wanted to make that statement. So,
yeah,
continue on with
but yeah,
what you're
but
doing.
you
But
mentioned at a young age, and at both schools, I focus on the first graders and the kindergartners. Now, is two parts of the brain that we focus on with these kids. One of them is the amygdala, okay? The amygdala is your fight and flight where your emotions come. You know, I always use the example with the amygdala that at the beginning of September, it was a shooting at Virginia State. And, you know, that's where my baby
yeah,
boy is.
your son is going there.
And so now I'm watching this on the news. Now, the first thing my mind tells me, my amygdala, is, oh my goodness, Christian. What's going on with Christian? Was it him? And you have to be careful with that because it wasn't anything wrong, but that's the way your mind is. Now, that's the amygdala. The other part of the brain is called the prefrontal cortex. Now, this is where your positive thoughts, your leaderships, your organization. If you go into those elementary schools and you ask the kids what part of the brain, listen to me now, you ask a kindergarten kid at one of those schools, what part of the brain is responsible for anger? They're going to tell you the mamenana. Now, they might not know how to pronounce it, but
Neither
they
do
know
I.
what it is and they know where it is. you know? And
Hmm.
at a young age like that, what we have to start teaching them where anger comes from and how to deal with it with mindfulness, using your breath to calm it. And this is what we are not doing. We are not focusing on that mental health in these schools. Actually, let me pause for a minute because this little bell right here, you can walk in a classroom. I can walk in the cafeteria, and everybody is just as loud as they could be. But when I do this, everybody that hears that bell does the shark fin and is completely quiet. But this is the discipline that
I
you
like
have to
that.
have. And once you do that, then I can go into some breathing exercises just to calm the kids.
So, uh, and you mentioned earlier, and Shona, right after this, I'm sure you have something. You mentioned about when you present the program, you say, "Well, I have the data to show you that it works." And I was going to ask, how do you gauge? Do you follow? Since you've been doing this program, do you follow some of the students that have been through the program where you can have the information? And you answered that question. You say you have that data, and that's why I was wondering why wouldn't the schools? Why wouldn't it be in all the elementary schools? But that's not a question for you. Like I said, thank God for the people that want to contribute like they did to keep it going, at least in the two schools that it is. But it seems like
Yeah,
it's something, it could be um, school system wide, especially in all the elementaries. And I
it
think we
really
probably will
should
see
be,
some
man.
results.
I have a young lady. Uh, Her name is Lori Grossman with Inner Explorer. We first met in 2010. This is how long we've been knowing each other. This is how long we've been waving this mindfulness banner. And she you probably, I don't know if you've heard of um, the mindfulness.org. She was the founder of that years ago, and then she moved on to Inner Explorer. So she's an advocate, man, and we just trying to move this thing now, through the Hampton Roads area. We have Ruffner Middle School. Currently, it's a school in Southfield, Michigan. They have the most uses. They're number one in the country right now. Okay. Church and Academy right now is number two, and Ruffner Academy is number six in the country. Okay. Douglas Park was kind of moving up the ladder, but they completely changed their whole staff. 95% of the staff is new at Douglas Park. So this is like starting over. And I tip my hat to Miss Williams because she's buying into the program. Miss Castro over at Church and Academy, she believes in the program. And, I just can't hold back, man. I just have to, if you don't have the money, I'm going to try and find the money.
Right, right.
So
I see Delegate Cliff Hayes is watching and not putting the pressure on him, but he's a state delegate and
hold up
rep-
right there. Hold up right there.
your Q brother.
Cliff Hayes in September honored me for the work that I was doing with mindfulness. He honored me at Rivers Casino, and I'm getting chills thinking about it because, you know, I didn't think too many people were listening, but Brother Hayes is listening. He's
Brother Hayes is a listener. He
Yeah,
is.
he's
He
listening.
believes in his constituents. And the
Oh,
reason I
that's
brought that
great.
up because is it any other programs you mentioned roughly any other programs throughout the state that are
Well,
using this program
Booker T has the program now, and
outside of Hampton Roads that you know of?
not that I know of, but like I said, man, we're competing against 4,500 schools,
Mhm.
and for us to be number 2 in the country, I think that's awesome.
That's
But you
saying
don't
something.
hear
Yes,
about
indeed.
that. You keep hearing about Portsmouth being the number 1 crime city in Virginia. And that's why I keep waving this banner, man, because we got some awesome kids. We got awesome administrative staff, awesome teachers in Portsmouth. Shout out to Dallas Van Lear and Angel Jones. Um, those are my partners over at Churchland Academy. Over at Douglas Park, Steve Kuther and Willie Hinton. And I have 2 awesome yoga instructors, and I pay them good. And they, uh,
You need another one?
Miss Lonely, what was that?
You need another yoga instructor? I
Yeah,
can learn real fast. You pay him good, brother. I'm
Oh,
yeah.
they got
there.
the internet now. Let
Lonely,
me get some
You
YouTube
might you
videos.
might
yeah,
bring Shona
yeah.
back from Georgia. If you pay
That's
him
right.
good.
Hello.
Lonely Davis, Miss Davis is over at Churchland Academy, and Jara Clark, she's over at Douglas Park.
So you're
So
talking mind, body, and soul when you
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about the
Look, I have
mindfulness.
a 76. She's 77 now. Her name is Christine Conner. She works with my second graders and my kindergartners.
Yeah, people that could be
So
retired, and I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
something
yeah.
says something about a lot of our teachers. I know for a fact that a lot of teachers that have retired are still active with the children, and you can't beat that kind of experience that
Right,
you get from
right.
somebody that's able at 77 to do what they do. But that experience that they bring along with whatever they do is invaluable.
My
So
boys, man, when they come home from school during the break, they go into the school and they work with the kids, man, and is I just think it's a wonderful thing, and I just think is needed. And I'm gonna keep pushing, man, to raise money to get those 10 schools by September.
yeah, and that's why we want to bring you on to bring as much awareness as we can with the following that we have on YouTube and Facebook. To
And
make
I
sure
really
that
appreciate
that
that.
the attention is there. And like I told you before, anytime you want to come on and something announcement or something is going on, and I really want you to come on when you have some achievements that some of these young folks are doing, because a lot of times they don't get the attention outside of the
Right.
school system that they deserve.
They should be
And
celebrated.
right, and they should be celebrated all the way where Shona is in Georgia. you know
Yeah, I
because a
agree.
lot of Portland people are in Georgia, so they need to know what's
That
going
is
on
true.
too. But
So,
Shona, you
Coach
have
Baker,
any?
if someone wanted to contribute to your project, how would they go about doing that?
Let me give my phone number. That's probably the best way.
Okay.
757 817 6535. That's
Okay. Well,
757 817 6535.
That's Jensen
Just give
Baker.
me a call. Yep. Yep. Give me a call. If you're on Facebook, go to Jensen Baker, Jenson, and I do a mindful Monday. Each Monday, I do a mindful, it's just a little talk. I think I mentioned this Monday that the Center of Disease Control a couple of years ago was saying how important mindfulness is for students and teachers. So now I had a little kickback with mindfulness being having a Buddhism background, but I'm no
Mm.
way Buddhist. I'm a strong believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I'm not teaching Buddhism. I'm teaching kids how to use their breath to calm themselves. I also have a center after school program. When you say meeting kids where they are, um, with Jara Clark, we have she has put together gamers and gods, where the kids come after school and they'll play video games and MetaQuest, Smash, and a
Wow.
lot of times some of these games have educational resources with them. So you have to meet the kids where they are, and this is what I believe. But class of '74 at Craddock, we're trying to put together a Stop the Violence. We're going to have a picnic, a cookout at City Park, our class, but we're inviting all of the classes from the '70s. So we're going to see how it goes. And, we're trying to,
From
uh,
all the schools from
the
all the schools from
'70s,
the
because it
70s.
was the
We all
'70s.
knew each other.
Yeah, we all knew each other, Slim,
Yeah.
and then we kind of broke up. Everybody went their way, but we want to do something to recognize stopping the violence. Now, this is sort of tentative. I don't want my class members to get mad at me, but it's something that we just started working on about 2 weeks ago. So, but stopping the violence in Portsmouth is something that I got to keep waving this banner, and I got to keep pushing Mind Power Enterprise 2 and Inner Explorer.
So do you have a date yet for the cookout?
June 20th, June 19th, we're going to meet at Time on the River. Uh, and then, we'll probably have a Sunday service, but we don't know yet. But we're trying to make this big. Uh,
Yeah, I was going to ask you the church participation. I know you got a nice donation from your church, Grove Baptist, also the church I grew up in. What about other churches throughout the city? It seems like it would be a worthwhile investment. And the reason I say investment, when we put this time within our kids, I think it's an investment in our future, because we don't want the perpetrators of crime to keep getting younger and younger, you
right,
know, and we
right.
don't want them to get older either, but, and still be doing certain things. But I think the earlier we start, the better chance we have of that continuing with them as they go through their other stages of life, like the ones you coached. By the time you got them, they were pretty much uh, formed or on their way to being, men.
Yeah,
But catching them at the age that you're talking
we
about in the
got to.
elementary
We
schools,
got to.
it's a
We
whole
got
lot of influence you can have on their
right,
young minds.
right, right, right.
So, Coach Baker, will the any part of the cookout activities be part of a fundraiser for your organization?
Well, no, we haven't, as a class, we haven't decided what we're gonna do with the money. We're entitling it stop the violence. So we don't know if we're gonna try to take some and donate to a stop the violence organization, or we really haven't gotten that far. Um, Jackie Hoskins, Dr. Jackie Hoskins Butler is our president, and we've been kind of talking it over, and we really feel like Portsmouth needs this, um, so.
Yeah, and you said it's a free program. Now, is it something that you sign up for and you have to have the parents' permission? How does that how does that fit into the regular school day?
Well,
Oh, is
once
it
they,
something that's every day?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Once the kids are, or the school has the program, then the teachers, we encourage them to use it. I can monitor which teachers use the program, which teachers are not. We have found in the studies that the teachers that use the programs the least has had the most referrals. We can look at the program and just kind of tell uh, which class might have the most referrals. So that would be where my yoga instructors would go into those classes and spend a little bit more time. It's just push and play. The teacher just goes to the program and whatever lesson she wants to do on anger, compassion, or and just push the button, and the kid sits there, and they take them through a guided meditation, and this just helps them to calm that brain. Like I said, 5 to 16 minutes a day. Okay, I mean it's science, you know.
Yes, indeed. And I'm looking at the mindfulness techniques that I googled here for and exercises for kids, so it can really get involved. And as we talk about how some of our kids now are getting a little heavier than they were because they're not going out like you mentioned earlier as much as we were outside, and all these different the breathing exercises, the teddy bear breathing, all these different kind of things that cater to younger kids. And like I mentioned before, mind, body, and soul. It's a physical thing, it's a psychological thing, and some people think it's psychological for kids, but you don't know what kind of trauma
Oh yeah.
that some kids are left with, things that they see, things that they hear, and it manifests itself into them well into their adulthood. They might have a normal childhood, but at some point they saw something or didn't know how to decompress or didn't know how to breathe and didn't know how to deal with something. And as an adult, all of a sudden they act out. There's some that's uncharacteristic of them, but it was something that was sort of seething in them, their whole life. So something like this with all the different exercises and yoga and things that they can do as a part of your program, it seems like it's something for everybody. Every kid might be a little different, might need a little bit more exercise, might need a little bit more yoga, a little bit more breathing, you know,
Right,
and all
right.
this is and I guess as the program goes along you can cater it towards uh, different students and the needs that they might have.
Well, I
Yes.
got to keep pushing this thing, Slim. Like I said, it's kind of hard for me to believe that the school doesn't have money for this, because
Mm.
this is
Yeah,
important, man.
like I
This
said, it's if they don't, they need to find it because it's an investment in the future.
right.
You can see what's going on nationally and what they're going to have to face anyway as adults. If
Well,
the political climate, I don't want to get into politics, but if it remains like it is or it's anywhere near like it is when they grow up, they're gonna have to be prepared for for that type of thing, and a lot of that comes early in life, learning how to cope with certain situations. So
I have
That's
an
true.
application, man, that and like I said, 757-817-6535. That's my number. But I have an application for schools that are interested to fill out to get this free program. And I was gonna charge, $300, because if people pay, then they have a tendency to use it more.
Right.
But with this application, if you're really serious about it, now I could pay for the first year, but we hoping after you get these results that this is going to be something that's going to be in your school forever.
Yeah. And
So
sometimes the kids that might need it the most can't afford that.
Bobby,
You know.
say that again, son.
I said sometimes the children that might need it the most probably won't be able to afford that, and that's why it's so important for it to be free and offered in there.
Yeah,
But let me
right.
ask you: could it be something in a private setting, or is it a state
You
rule or
can
law
you
that it
can
has to come
order
through
it.
the schools?
No, you can order it privately, but
Okay, it's going to cost.
if your school has it, it's free to the parents.
Okay, okay.
You know, it's free for the parents. So it's a win-win, Slim.
Hmm.
It's a win-win. This is Enter Explore. It's the best mindfulness program that I have ever seen that's going to get some results, man.
So
And we
what
want
got you?
to do
What
something.
got you into this? I mean, I know you had years of coaching, and like I said, you were on the high school level as far as
Well,
coaching. So you dealt with a lot of those kids. So what kind of got you started? You saw
you,
the program somewhere else, or you just
well, 2014,
observed?
2014, I came down with prostate cancer.
Hmm.
And I think with me going to yoga, okay, I had a young wife, young kids, and that word cancer just kind of triggered something. So in 2010, that's when I was first turned on to it. Okay. You know Dr. Shepherd, Marie Shepherd.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, she came into my classroom. At the time, Dr. Stuckwich um, was the superintendent. And she came in my class with a guy named Maury Cook. And
Hmm.
they said, is there anybody here at the, and I was teaching alternative ed at the time, New Directions. Is there anybody here would like to go out in the wilderness with some kids? So nobody raised their hand. I said, you know, we only
I
had
wouldn't have
14.
raised my hand either
So I
in the
raised my
wilderness.
hand, Slim. Slim, I raised my hand, man.
I was a Boy Scout,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think we ever went into the wilderness. I think I missed that
I
part.
wouldn't
I
even want to
quit.
go out there with adults. Certainly not with kids. Okay.
but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but continue because I'm sure it's
But no, no. So
a
that's
valid
really
reason for that. You know, that's
how
just
it
me.
all started, man. We went to a retreat. This was in 20 oh no, this was in 2009. Uh, Omega Institute, which is big on mindfulness, um, yoga, and up in New York. So I went with this guy, and believe it or not, I was out of 300 people, I was the only black male in there sitting on the first row.
Mm.
And so the question was asked, does anybody have any questions? So I was with a guy named Joe Klein. So Joe said, you got any questions? I said, no. I said, yeah, I have a question. I said, you know, I always see advertisements about mindfulness, but it says people of color. Okay. Now, you know, people of color could mean Asians. Yeah, I said, my program is 99.9% African American. So Lori Grossman, she stands up and she says, come to Oakland, California. So I went to Oakland, California. And at the time, it was during the summer, but I had mindfulness training. Went back to Oakland, California, stayed at Lori's house, and Lori turned me on to her school. And when I walked into her school, man, I saw how they were doing this mindfulness. And, you know, soon as I walked into school, one of the kids was, they were cussing out the administration. And I say from East Coast to West Coast, it doesn't change. Kids are kids, you know. So, but it was that's really what got me started. Now, at the time, I might have mentioned this to you before. Right now, I'm under the tutelage of George Mumford.
Mm.
Okay, and he has a book called The Mindful Athlete, and I'll talk about that maybe later. But George Mumford, and Dr. J were roommates at the University of Massachusetts. He blew out his knee and he went downhill, man. I mean, till he was almost homeless. And it was when he started getting treatment about mindfulness that brought him out. Now, uh, with the mindful athlete and using mindfulness, Smithfield High School this year, um, we did yoga and mindfulness with the football team. And I think the coach really liked it. Jara Clark, she did a great job coming in and teaching the kids the yoga. She had a little reading program where she brought books in with the kids, and um, you know, so it's good all across the board, man. You look at a lot of um, people in corporate America, they're using mindfulness so their staff won't get burnt out.
Mm.
Hey, Shona, let me ask you a question. You know, as we had a show and we talked about Kalima Overton Amin's book, Hidden in Plain Sight, and some of the uh, trauma situations that some of the children of people that were in domestic violence situations. Do you think, you know, because you never know what those kids see, and you think something like this would help in those situations too? Because you know, a lot of times, like I said earlier, you don't know how the kid is, or child is going to be affected until later on in life. But you know, if
Absolutely.
you have this early on, especially if you're in that kind of domestic violence situation, which a lot of
Absolutely.
people are, and you know,
I do know. And like I said, absolutely, I feel that it would help those children uh, that are going through, like you said, you don't know what they went through this morning before they even came to you.
and a lot of
Okay.
times the parents don't know because the kids good at hiding. You
This is true.
That's
Um,
true.
so,
That's true.
yes, that would be very helpful.
know, yeah, yeah,
Children are so good at um, keeping quiet. They know a lot more than you think they do.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always.
And that's what
They
I was
see.
talking about. Like, you know, like you say, you never know what these kids are going through, and they might be witnessing, you know, domestic violence in their house, or they, you know, just coming to school hungry, or uh,
That too.
you know,
Yeah.
seeing the lights. Yeah, I mean, seeing things that a lot of kids don't normally see, and
They
then
should
for
see.
certain situations, they get to school and get joked out about how to dress. You know, it's so many things that a child
Oh
can go
yeah.
through
Oh
where a
yeah.
program like this could help them. And like I said, some people might not think about psychological and mindfulness help for children, but that's probably where it's needed the
Yeah.
most in certain
Yes.
situations, you know, and then people don't grow up with issues when they're
Yeah.
adults.
It would help them to process
Yes, indeed.
in a
Yeah.
positive way.
So this
I just
sounds.
wanna I just wanna, if you can write this down
Mhm.
or take note of this. The program that I use is Inner Explore.com. www.innerexplore.com. Okay. And that'll give you a sort of overview. Um, Now, my website is Coach Jensen Baker, CoachJensenBaker.com. And you can learn a lot about what I was just talking about. But so enter explore, people that are listening, just check out the program. My sponsorship package, I wanted to wait till I got on this call. I was supposed to send it out Friday, but my sponsorship package will be going out this week. And, I'm looking at some close friends that I believe that will support me. And then, um, other companies or Slim, that was a good idea about the churches.
Hmm.
And but once again, my goal right now, I have money for 5 schools.
Wow.
Okay. I have money for 5 schools
It's
right
just
now.
a matter of getting that approval in the schools
Well,
to go into the schools. So what does it take?
right. Well, if a school is interested, fill out the application.
Do you have to go through
And
the
I'm
school
going to look,
board or is all
pardon me,
administrative?
say that again.
Do you have to go through the school board or is it all administrative?
Well, is whoever shows interest to fill
Okay.
out the application. I mean, I'm gonna let them handle,
All the
their
logistics, yeah.
administration. But I have the money for this program, and like I said, we want it to be that if you're interested in the program, we want you to use it. You're gonna find results, but we want you to continue using it. So of course, that will be 31.95 or 99, per year.
Yeah.
So, but it's worth it, especially if you get it at home for free.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. And I believe, did you all hear that? He has the money for the programs, and a lot of times programs, when you're approached by people with programs, they're looking for money, and
Give
not
him
saying
my
you're not
number,
looking, still looking for money, but right
Shauna.
now he
Give him
has the
my
money.
number, Shauna.
Go ahead.
Give him my phone number. Y'all got it written down, or should I say it again?
Oh,
Yes,
we want you to say it again.
yes.
Seven
757
five.
817 6535.
Yes. So give me a call. I'm sitting here waiting. Yep.
Yes, indeed. Give him a call and
So
you know
Yes. And
be
that
an
number,
investor in our
we need
kids'
that to
future.
go in the comments
Yeah. Okay. Well, while y'all
so
talking,
that it can be referenced.
I'll put it in there. I'll put it in the ticker.
Thank you. Thank you.
it's needed so much. It's needed so much. I just don't like
Yes.
the idea of Portsmouth, and it's no offense against you guys, but that word P Town, I don't like using it. I mean, I just don't, because someone once told me the P stand for pistol.
Yeah.
You
For a
heard
long
that
time.
before,
Heard
Slim?
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pistol
I've
town.
heard that too. For a long time, like too. I didn't like to use it either,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I just kept seeing people referring to it, and then I tried to just put a positive spin on it,
yeah,
and not making sure people use it as
I
pistol.
have
But
never heard that.
if it was a slang that worked more with some of our younger people, that's the reason I used it. But long as they weren't using it and referring to it as Pistol Town,
yeah,
you know,
I have
a
never heard
Portsmouth
that.
Town
I
or Positive Town, replace
yeah.
it with another P.
But God is
wow.
my witness, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I want to have 10 schools by September. I want to have, if I got to raise the money myself, I want to have 10 schools with this program focusing on mental health of our kids.
I believe you're gonna get it, Coach Baker. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna
So
type in the number.
Yes.
What do you
Hey,
got?
He's
Slim,
right.
look like I'm not tech savvy. Look like I see Huddy Williams on the call here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been making comments. You can see his
Oh man,
in the lower right hand
yeah, I just
corner.
saw that.
You can see the comments and
Oh, that's all right.
He is
Shout
neighborhood
out to
guy and
you,
a
Huddy.
Grove Baptist.
he is a
Yes, sir.
FSS, a favorite show supporter.
Yes, he's here every week, and he's been a guest on at least twice on our show.
Who is it? Who was that, Slim?
Uh, Huddy, Huddy, he
Oh
has
yeah,
been a guest. As a matter of fact, he first came on and talked about his health issues. You know, the same issue you had,
yeah. Huddy
Yes.
the
and I are
prostate.
working on.
Yeah.
We are working on a prostrate program for September.
Hmm.
Prostrate seminar. Yep.
Okay,
Your
I'm trying to
September
get
is going
this.
to be packed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so we need some support for this project. Uh, Lord knows we need it. I'm just taken aback at Pistol Town.
Oh,
I
these
had
Yeah.
first
no.
time you've
Yeah.
heard that?
Yeah.
It's the first time I've heard it.
Yeah. And with the stigma of us being
We don't need that.
the largest crime city in Virginia and all of that, I just can't
Yeah,
use that term. I
yeah,
can't use.
I feel you. I feel you. Like on
No
that.
offense. No offense now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, Portsmouth it is, because that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this number in here. Okay. Y'all go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. Or we're just about at 8 o'clock anyway, so we can wrap this up. Anything else you have to add? Oh, let me ask you this: like any activities, any programs coming up in the future related to this, or it doesn't have to
Well,
be? I know some
we
other things that you do as well.
I think we nominated you a couple of years ago for our Bridge Builders Award
Yeah, so that's
and
coming up
Phenomenal
again.
Woman.
Yeah,
But we usually have Phenomenal Women in March. But because of the fallout with the government and all of that, and we kind of people still trying to figure out their finances, we are moving our Phenomenal Women Bridge Builders with Portsmouth Outreach Foundation, and that's a financial arm of Zeta Iota Omega Psi Phi fraternity. We're moving that event, Slim, to September.
oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I'll probably be back on the show just to talk about that.
yeah,
Also, we're bringing the football combine back. You know how you used to come out and at Norcom, and we used to have the football combine.
yeah. I used to come out and watch.
Yeah, well, my son, Christian Baker and Paul Battle, last year they did the first elementary school combine.
Oh,
So
so
we're going to combine that with our high school combine, and that should be around May. Okay, I think May 16th. We're looking at that.
okay, and before we go, and this is unrelated to what we're talking about. This has something to do with your coaching and the local high school football. Just wanted to get your opinion on that. I guess the times are different now. It's almost like a college situation where a lot of students are choosing to go to different high schools in order to. And that's why you have these high schools like Maury or something like that just dominate because you have a combination of some of the best kids coming from all different schools to go there because the opportunity, what they see as the opportunity is better. My thing is if you're a good player, the scouts or the colleges will find you. Uh, but I guess it's a different thing now. I guess it's something I have to get used to on the high school level because I thought the high school level was the training ground to prepare the athletes, also in the classroom, to be ready for college and not to be concentrating so much on winning the state or something like that. But seems like that's where the concentration is. You see a lot of the best students going. So how is that just the way it is now on the high school level
Well,
or
it's the way it is, and it's the way it was because they've been doing that for years.
okay.
And now I look at uh, in college, they're paying folks. They say now that Indiana bought that national championship,
I
because a
saw
lot of
something today
kids,
about
man,
that. Yes.
they, so it's just the sign of the times, man.
Yeah, like I
Sign
said,
of
I
the
have to get used to that. But I just thought, and you said, and
yeah,
when you think about it, it has kind of been going on, but it just seems like not to this extent.
yeah,
And
oh
I
yeah,
just wonder how it is for a team. Like, well, I'm going to go to basketball team. If you and you can't help if you have a dominant team that's playing, but how does a team recover? When I was playing, a girl in the neighborhood used to ask me when we lost. The next day we'd be in school and we'd still be happy and everything. And she was, how can y'all lose and come to school the next day and just take it like that? I said, because we got a game Friday. We have another
that's
game Friday. So we
that's
just have to move forward. But I just wonder
Life
about
goes on.
a school losing 100-22 or is 65-4 at halftime. I just wonder how, I guess the teams on the losing end with that kind of lopsided victory. And you see that in college too.
Oh,
You
I'd
know
have
how
been
in the
there.
beginning
I'd
when,
have been on that losing side, 94-10, 7-7. Aaron Sparrow beat us 7-7 zip, man.
so, yeah,
Yes, sir.
that
So
was kind of special. So I guess you've been saying, I was just curious about that since you been in that area of the coaching, but
yeah, but
you sort of,
but the thing about
That's
that
a
though,
whooping.
Slim, you know, I still have kids to come back and say, Coach Baker, if it wasn't for you,
mhm.
no matter, I've never won a national or state championship or anything like that. But for a kid to come back 20 years later and say, Coach Baker, if it wasn't for you, that makes it all worth the while for me.
Yeah, I guess the kids. I guess I'm looking at it like, how does the kid feel, and they just scored 22 points. But you just have
Yeah.
to
Oh,
love the
yeah.
game because it didn't bother me if it was 5 seconds in the game, and I hadn't played all game, and the coach said, Overton, get in there, and just 5 seconds left. So I was just glad to wear the uniform. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I guess it's about the same thing.
I hear you, man.
Some guys wouldn't go in, but I went in.
Yeah.
5 seconds,
Yeah.
it earned me a letter.
Yes,
A
sir.
lot, a lot
Yeah,
of being on in a team environment is learning discipline. So whether you
yeah,
win
it's
or
a whole
lose,
lot of lessons
you
you
always
get out of it.
learn. Always some basics that you need for life.
Yeah, so
So it's
Coach, thanks
not
for
always about whether
pivoting.
you win.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Shona.
I said it's not always about whether you win or lose. It's also
Well,
about how you play the game.
yeah, sometimes it stings though.
Oh, it definitely stings, but that's a
Yeah,
lesson learned also.
yeah. I mean, it's just as bad if you lose by 1 point. So sometimes losing by 1 point is even worse than losing by 100. Because you are almost there.
But that
But
was a good
Coach,
game.
yeah, Coach, thanks for pivoting on that in the end with the sports thing, and being diplomatic in your answer because I didn't want to put you on the spot. How you feel about that? But but pretty soon, if kids keep doing that, they're gonna have they're gonna be paying high school athletes, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that might
yeah.
be down the road too.
But
So
I just want to say, man, I really enjoyed this. Like I said, Cliff Hayes sort of gave me a little platform by recognizing me
hmm
and coming on your show like this, man, for me to share this. Shauna was saying, Coach, you're going to get it. And I just believe that being on this show is really going to help that, And I just thank God for both of you guys and wish you many blessings.
yeah, I hope it helps. But it's you. You have a great program that probably can sell itself. It's just getting that exposure and getting more people aware of it, that can that might have influence on some of the people that make those decisions of
Right.
where the program is going to go. So you never know who might have
So
that
that
kind of
means you should
influence.
come back, Coach Baker.
Okay, I will. I will.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. And maybe when you come back, it'll be from Portsmouth to ATL instead instead of P Town. But
No offense to anybody.
P-Town
Trust
in
me.
parentheses, not pistol.
yeah, yeah, I think you moved something in Shona with that. She might have a conversation after the show about me. How about that P Town? I didn't know about that pistol thing. But we'll see. All right, thanks everybody, and of
Thanks
course
a
we
lot.
encourage.
Appreciate it.
Yes, and of course we encourage you to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the like button each time you watch us, and make sure you subscribe as well as share this show with a lot of different people. And look forward to the shorts that I make after this and put out there. Go ahead, Shona.
Subscribe. Just subscribe,
Yeah,
subscribe,
yeah.
subscribe.
Shona is big on the subscribe, and then she brings them in. So keep bringing them in. So the more
Click
people
like
we get
and
to
share
subscribe,
if you care.
we're trying to build this channel and along with some of the other channels that we have. But it was an honor to have Coach on here, and one of these days he'll come on here and we'll talk about his days growing up in Truxton and his
Okay,
uh, his athletic
that sounds
career.
good.
He followed some big footsteps, the
Yeah,
brothers that were in the NFL. So I mean, so we have to talk about that. How
yeah,
was that coming
yeah.
up in Truxton? Yeah. All
Sounds
right.
good.
And playing baseball and what was that? Pete, what was the name of the league?
Charles Pete, you got
It
it
was
right.
Charles
Charles
Pete.
Pete League. Yes,
That's right.
yes,
Yeah, you remember. Yeah.
Yes,
yes. I
indeed.
was I was always out there at my brother's games,
Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
I'm sure you have seen me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you probably was the loudest out there.
Probably. No,
Yeah.
I'm just
Why'd you
kidding.
strike out, brother? All right, everybody. Thank you. We appreciate you and have a good evening.
Thanks again.
And for those that might be watching that are snowbound, just be careful out there. Drive like you have some sense. Some people don't respect the weather when they're out there driving. Some people don't respect the weather, the driving when it's good weather. So just be careful out there. And like my mother used to always say, look out for the other guy. And everybody else was driving out there other than me were fools. But don't
Shauna,
don't
I
call
have a
everybody
question
fools.
for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Shauna,
Oh, go
how
ahead.
Yes.
how do you sign off? What I don't see a button. Like I'm so used to Zoom and you just hit the leave button.
Uh, our fearless leader will handle that.
Oh, well, he was asking me, because on this end we have a button to end it. So
Oh
and
yeah,
and
but
I,
but
I
I didn't know where it was on this stream, and he said you might know, because I was having a little problems
yeah, I put
when
it
we
on you,
first
Shauna.
coming in. But I'll figure it out.
Yeah, and most people just have the same issue. See, I never come on
Right.
StreamYard, so I'm gonna have to do that so I can see, so I can help people when they
Yeah.
ask me that
I'll
question
just
again.
I'll just shut the whole thing
Yeah, just
down.
shut the whole thing
Just,
down.
just click the X at the upper right hand corner and you'll get an option,
Is
to
that what
leave.
it is?
Yeah, you leave.
Okay, well, I don't see y'all now, so I'm not tech savvy. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Take care, Light. We appreciate you.
I
We'll be
told
Okay,
you
seeing
to
you
okay,
take
out
now.
there.
Bye bye.
care. Okay, so subscribe while it's free. Click like and share if you care. Bye bye.
All right, Shona. And take care. And I hope you're feeling
Bye bye.
better as you go on. You did a great job. I know you're a little under the weather, but thanks for coming on today. You know,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
I
everybody.
was
We
just
go
hoping
on
I
this
didn't
time.
have a sneezing fit. No.
Yes. Do your little wave before I cut you off.
Bye bye.